social media teaches you that everybody is what? Replaceable. And they're not. And let me tell you why. Because people are falling in love with the ideology, the fairy tale of marriage, not with the person. So if you want marriage in the fairy tale, not the person, then you'll be able to take marriage and your ID and clothe it on anyone you come in contact with. Ooh. You never plug into anybody. But if you're trying to be in a relationship with a person, you plug into that person. That means they are not replaceable. They're not. Because if you're my best friend and I plug into you, Tamron, and we have an argument or a fallout and I plugged into you, not just the idea of a best friend, if we get into it, girl, I'm heartbroken. Yes. When my mother and I get into a small disagreement and we barely disagree, we're both in turmoil because I'm plugged into my mama. I'm plugged into her. So if I say anything that harms her, I'm hurt. Yeah, I feel it. I love that. And I'm running to resolve. And so in a marriage, if we're plugged into the person, that means that what they feel, we feel. We empathize with them. We're not plugged into an idea and we don't look at them and say, well, we could take this idea and go clothe anyone else with it. You're going to end up with a sheep with wolf clothing. You do that.
I love that. I love that.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It is a new day. We thank the good Lord it's a new day. Thank God it is a new day. So good to see you again. Thanks for stopping by again. We got something really interesting we're going to talk about today. As always, we got a series of videos we're going to watch. Please put your comments in the comment section below. The focus today, no. Who are you talking to? Husbands, wives to be, especially those that want to be husbands, those that want to be wives. If you're already a husband and a wife, it may still apply, but you're done already. Who are you talking to? Who is advising you? Because we all need to be advised. We all need mentors. So let's go through a couple of videos and see what they got. Please put your comments in the comment section below as we go through this. Some of the videos I'll stop. Some, they speak for themselves. I don't have to say anything. So we're just going to go right into it. And let's see what we got going on today.
So if you and your man make the same amount of money, right? Mm-hmm. But only your man is the one that paying all the bills. How you ever going to save up to like buy a house or buy a business? Because he's never going to be able to afford to. So it's like certain things is like a joint thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Together. It's like a work together. But I just be feeling like sometimes people, like the internet really be having people fucked up from like real reality type. So it's like, all right, so your mom and dad used to work every single day, right? Mm-hmm. So your mom and dad used to work every single day so your mom could save her money and buy purses and your dad just pay all the bills. That's not how it works. It's either your mom was in the house cooking and cleaning every day, your dad was working, or they was both working to pay both the bills. Like y'all be acting like y'all don't know what the that is like no more. Like, come on.
Oh, wow. Can you tell me who that is? Well, you can put that in the comment section. So let's just hang on one second. So twice now, the First Lady and Her Royal Highness talked about social media. You know what? Before we even go on, I think social media should be renamed. Actually, I think it should be renamed Unrealistic Anti-Social Media. It's a whole lot of things on there that we know is just not real. And it's not going to help anybody. So who are you talking to? Who's advising you on how to be a husband and how to be a wife? You want to be a husband, you want to be a wife. Who is advising you? Is it social media? In some cases, it's friends who may not even know half as much as you do. So let me ask you this question. If you want to be a husband, you want to be a wife, and you may be dating now, or you may not. If you're with someone or you're thinking about being with someone, who do you like? Do you like that person because your friends are telling you to like that person, or you like them because you like them for you? Let's start with that. Who is advising you? Who are you talking to? Very important. You got to be able to make up your mind. I'll tell a quick story and then we'll move on to the next part. And that next part, be ready. I knew this guy, not really close. It was like a friend of another friend. And in all transparency, he loved or more attracted to chubby girls, some lady with some meat on the bones. But in his circle of friends, their thing was the slim, the skinny type of women. And he knows quite well that was not his thing. He listened to his friends because he can withstand the peer pressure, I guess. I don't know what he was thinking. Saw the girl he liked, the chubby girl, kind of just pushed it aside. He knew that's what he liked. That's what he was attracted to. But he decided to go for the girl his friends recommended to him. They started dating. He proposed. They got married. And you can tell from my tone, from the start of the story, where this story is going. Cut it short, it didn't last long. But you don't have to go through all of that to get to where you need to go. Because the person you left behind may just not be there again. And so was the case with this guy. The girl he wanted, he left behind, met somebody else, moved on. Anyway, who are you talking to is the focus of today's topic. Let's go to this next video, and I think it's going to be an eye-opener to so many things as well. I am even learning from it myself. So let's go.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Would you learn how to play basketball from a football coach?
I guess not.
Would you learn how to play basketball from a football coach?
No.
If you want to learn how to cook, who would you want to teach you?
The chefy.
If you want to learn how to drive a car, who you want to teach you?
A driver?
If you want to learn how to fly a plane, who gonna teach you?
A pilot?
What?
How are y'all learning how to be wives and your mother wasn't a wife? You just said if you want to learn to fly a plane, you're going to go to a pilot. You want to learn how to cook, you're going to go to a chef.
Wow.
Women don't know what's intrinsically important to a man. They don't know how to be a wife because their mothers wasn't wise. In general, women are raising their daughters to be single mothers because they are single. They're single mother. And they're like, I'm going to teach you how to be strong. And my mama told me I don't need no man. And they have raised you to be a single woman.
That's terrible.
And go be educated. So you don't need to depend on no man and get you an education and go to college. They have groomed you to be a single mother. But if you want to be a wife, you have to learn how to be a wife from a wife, the same way you will learn how to cook from a chef. Then once you surround yourself with other wives, then you will know what's intrinsically important to a man. A lot of y'all women ain't even wives. And you married.
Wow. No lies told. In the same way, to be a husband, you have to surround yourself with husbands with good track record of being a husband. Because this not only applies to women trying to be wives and they don't have a good role model to be a wife. The same applies to a man. Because not only do you need it before you become a husband, you also need it after you become a husband. You also need it after you become a wife. So this applies to a man as well. Trying to be a husband, you need to surround yourself with good husbands around you that have experience, good track record. As it applies to the woman, it applies to the man as well. One thing I'd just like to add to this. We always have to remember that not everyone is qualified to speak into our lives. Not everyone is qualified to speak into our lives. Sometimes we ourselves are not even qualified to speak into our lives. This is why we need First and foremost, we need God's help, and we need others with more wisdom than we have to guide us. We're going to listen to this last one. Is a conversation in a panel. I don't know how much I'm going to stop it or not even stop it. I'm just going to let it rip. I might stop it. I don't know. But please put your comments in the comment section below. I think we need to listen to this as well. It unveils a whole lot of reasons why we are having so many issues, especially in our community, in the Black community. Our relationships are jacked up. We don't even understand what we need to be doing, but a whole lot of that comes from not talking to the right people, because there are whole loads of people in our community that do marriage well, that do this husband thing well, that do this wife thing well, and we need to connect with those people. And let's drop our pride and connect with them. It's all for our good, so we can change the narrative of what's being spoken. Let's go on to the next video, and please put your comments in the comment section below.
Get mad at me for dating outside my race, but I was dating outside of my race because they was doing things better in my race. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Define better.
My
Define
Spanish,
better.
well, not better, because I know where she getting ready to go. Not better.
I know, you
Well,
said they were
not-
doing things
no, not
better. I
better,
wanted
not
to know what
better,
better meant.
not
Just
better.
let him
I'm gonna change-
I'm
speak.
trying to save you for the,
I
for
know
the
you
people,
is.
for
That's
the
why I'm
culture.
saying not better for the culture.
There we go.
Right, not better. I was dating Puerto Rican, I was dating Dominican, I was dating African, I was dating all type of other related sides American Black, right? They were doing way more of what we expect we want our woman to do more than our American. Our American got real comfortable
Give
with.
me some examples.
Oh man, I mean, their mannerisms are different. Like even my Indian one was from Syria, one of them countries over there, right? I didn't have to really say much to do and be treated like a king. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times with our own American Black, they expect so much of us and what we're supposed to do. Like things like if we go out and eat and we just have a nice dinner, we can go anywhere and eat and get a nice dinner. It had to be Ruth Chris, or it had to be this, that, or it had to be this, that. Then I get somebody that's just as fine, a Cuban or a Colombian. They don't care about nothing. They care about you and your household. Even though they still care about the money, but it's not about the money. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's a difference. Not better, but sometimes we get tired of hearing, Birkin bags, sushi.
Do you think that's fair? Because I feel like there's a certain type of woman that does demand that. And to me, I think it depends on the bait you're using and where you're looking. If you're gonna go get a model from Instagram that got the BBL, the snatched in stomach, and has all the things that check off money hungry and surface, you're gonna get that. If you're gonna meet a girl and through different ways and ask different questions, you're gonna find that out a lot earlier on, that what's important to her.
I'm not doubting that, but I'm just talking about, even if you look on just a regular dating app and just look at what a woman may state that she requires. You know, I'm saying these things because it feels as if social media, again, is the barometer, okay? And it's the comparison. And when you're comparing yourself to all these other women, and of course, even with the BBLs, because I'm like, that's fine, but I mean...
What's BBL? I'm sorry.
Brazilian butt lift.
Oh,
And there's no shade to women that have it. I'm just
I was
saying.
wondering, I was waiting for it too. I'm like, excuse me?
And there's no shade to everyone that has them. I'm just saying, if you're going by just surface things and that's who you're going afterwards, then guess what? She's gonna run them pockets.
No, and I'm not, and I want to get your thoughts, Doc, and as well, Amy, as a woman dating or even considering, I think that a lot of times, you know, we do value women, but when you talk about Black relationships, I think we all come with some baggage, all right? Now, some of us have some baggage that's not gonna fit in the overhead compartment, and some of us have some baggage that you're gonna have to pay a whole lot more for to get on this flight, right? But the reality of it is, that's just who we are, and I'm talking about historic. Like, if you're talking about being enslaved, where we were and how we engage each other, there's a lot of elements there. But it,
a lot.
it can be a little difficult because women have expectations in 2021 that they're watching, and they're very material expectations. I agree with you, Claudia, but I'm simply saying that
not all of them are material.
and I'm not trying to generalize.
It's just
women.
Most of the time it's pointing to American women are more material.
And it's America as a society.
Not better.
Let's bring
Not
spirit.
better.
Let's bring spirit into it.
I just had to stop it for a second. And this is why we're not really making progress. We cannot even have a conversation. Always trying to talk over each other. Can we just listen for a moment? So we can share. The man can give. You want them to provide. Give you love. You want to receive the love. Can we just be patient with each other? Somebody speaking. Can we just listen? Let it be a two-way street, not a one-way street. Everybody talking, no one listening. Well, who are we talking to? Certainly, if we talk to each other, we're not making any progress. That's what this tells me. But I wanted you to see something else before we go on this conversation. When you truly find true love, just to break the ice a little bit, and then you recognize it changes the whole atmosphere. As opposed to what we're seeing here, what we're seeing right here in this conversation. He's getting so tensed, I don't even want to go on. But we have to finish it. But listen to this for a second.
He loves me in a way that I don't question anything, and I've never been loved like that before, where I could be on Mount Everest, right? But I'm so sure of the love he has for me because he loves me harder than I feel like I love him. It was the first time in my life being with someone and feeling like, like they're out loving me. But it's beautiful. I'm crying because I'm just like, I feel so blessed to have like met him and to have this kind of love, because I know that not everyone experiences it, but the distance is easy because he loves me with everything.
Do we know how to give love? Do we know how to receive love? Who are we talking to? Let's go back into the conversation.
And I gave you the space to even edit the better part, right? So and I'm with you on that. But let's say this, because you guys both tie in two really important pieces, right? You talk about women who are not African American women, and you talk about the experience and what is the influence here. You mentioned social media, but what you're really missing here is the piece that you talk about, the enslavement part. The culture and the trauma that African American men and women and children have faced in this country is like unlike any other group. And so when we talk about trauma, what we know is that Black people have a lot of unprocessed trauma. We have a lot of hurt. We have a lot of harm, not just back then, but right now on the daily, right? And so one of the things that we talk about as professionals within my profession is we talk about how trauma impacts people. And so we love to say, Resma Minikin, one of my favorite colleagues, he says that trauma decontextualized within a person looks like personality. And that trauma decontextualized within a family looks like family traits. And that trauma decontextualized within a people looks like culture. Right. And so when you talk about how African American women present and what they need as it relates to security and finances and the finer things in life, and to look a certain way and to want a certain thing from their man and to have certain expectations, it's because of the trauma that we are still trying to survive. And when we talk about feeling beautiful and the BBLs and the Birkin bags and the wanting the nice things and wanting their men to come with a certain level of care and a certain level of treatment and expectation, we are trying to connect. We are trying to heal with you. We are trying to build with you. But there's so much hurt and trauma that we all have that we don't talk about, that we don't even understand within ourselves, so that we can't find who we're compatible with. Because who we're compatible with is traumatized versions of our.
I just have to disagree with that lady real quick. I hear all of that, but it still doesn't change the fact that we are not making the right connections. And how much longer are we going to go trying to survive instead of trying to thrive? Who are we talking to? Obviously, we're not talking to the right person or the right people. If you want to be a husband, if you want to be a wife, we got to talk to the right people to guide us. We got to look for them. And there are people in our community. So what this lady is saying is not completely valid. I'm sorry. There are black people that are thriving in their marriages, doing well. With all of the trauma she's mentioning, every black person is dealing with that. So I'm not sure why she's holding on to it as the excuse. We got to do better. Let's just call it spade a spade. We got to do better. You heard the first gentleman. He's dating outside of his race. Why? Because he feels more comfortable. So what are they doing that we are not doing? Should be the question. So maybe we can learn from other people. It's okay. And there's a whole lot of things we can teach people as well. This is why we can't isolate ourselves. Let's just keep on listening.
Ourselves.
Spirit, do you think that women and men, women that seek the materialistic things, items, the tangible things, and men that just seek the women for the aesthetics, do you think those are people that kind of just gave up on love and they're just like going for, all right, well, at least I can see this, I can grab onto this?
No, I think it's science. If you really want to know, we are part of the animal kingdom like anything else. And so what the male species chooses is the thing that's biologically beautiful, because what it suggests from a DNA perspective is you're likely to bear my offspring and they will do well. It's survival of the fittest.
Who are you listening to?
What the female species chooses is the male offspring that can provide the most security, because you're going to be able to protect me and our offspring and raise us, and we will do well.
So we're not gold diggers, it's just science.
It's literally biology. It is literally biology.
We
When
have
you
our
see,
own different.
listen, when you see the brothers out there with the rims and the flashing the money and the gold, they're no different than the male peacock that's showing his whole big pretty feathers. Look at me, look
See
at me.
why we're not making
And when
progress?
you see the women that go, show me what you got, show me what you're working with. It's no different than the frog that ribbits the loudest, or the bird that chirps the loudest.
So what do you call a man that's just been providing, that doesn't ask for nothing? What do you call the guys like me who we don't ask for anything?
Oh, but you do.
How?
You may not ask it with your words, but your expectation is there. So when you say, I need that woman that loves me, I need that woman that has my back, so I don't have to say, hey, is that bacon and eggs there? Hey,
Okay,
are
mental,
those clothes in the
mental,
drawer?
Not cash wise. Okay.
So when we talk about compatibility, right, one of the things that I love to say, an acronym that I use is rises, that some relationships rise, some fall. You want one that rises. Rises stands for the different types of intimacy.
All right, I couldn't take any more of that lady stuff. She's just, in my opinion, just going off, just ranting on stuff that's just not practical. And this is why we need to be careful. Not everyone is qualified to speak into your life. Not everyone. You got to be careful who you allow to speak into your life. If I listen to this lady, I don't know how many other ladies are listening to this lady. You're going to be misled. The reality is we got to do this thing right, and we're not, especially in our community. So we got to be talking to the right people. Let's find people with solid marriages, solid husbands, solid wives. Let's talk to them. Let's drop the pride. We don't know it all, and we need to learn. It's going to help us. Well, that's all we got today. Please drop your comments in the comment section below. Let us know what you think about this. And my prayer for you is that you will find that person that would help you out, advise you and guide you, and ultimately you will find that special someone for you as a husband and as a wife. That's my prayer for you. Please drop your comments in the comment section below. We're about to wrap this up, and you know how we like to do it. We just like to remind ourselves that we always remember that we got one life with many seasons, so let's make the best of it. God bless you, and I'll see you soon. You take care now. Bye for now.